Welcome to Adrienne Ross Squared, squaring off from A to Z. You know, we are about a month from inaugurating a new president, the 47th president of the United States, who is also the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump. And it begs the question, are we as a nation ready to move forward, to embrace a new president and move ahead? I found myself thinking about how divided our nation is. And then I sort of had to step back and go, is that really true? I mean, we can certainly see division from the media to our homes, to our neighborhoods, to perhaps even our churches. There's a whole lot of divided ideas, it seems. But then I think about the election, November 5th, and we have a president-elect who did not just win the Electoral College, he won the popular vote, and he won by a landslide. So I sort of hesitate when I found myself going, we're such a divided nation. A majority of the nation said, this is what we want. This is what we're ready for. We're ready to turn the page. Economy, immigration, energy independence. I mean, we could go on and on. The education of our children, the agenda to groom our children, to chop off body parts of our children. I mean, there's so many things that came into play, and a lot of it had to do with money. And so people banded together, groups that people didn't expect Trump to be able to win. He won. Even in places like New York or California, he moved the needle in his direction. And that's something that not everybody wants to hear. But here's my question again. Are we ready to move forward? And this makes me think about, is it party over principles or principles over party? And what I mean by that is, if you look at Trump's track record when he was president for 4 years, whatever you think about his personality, whatever you think about his past, whatever you think, period. If you look at the record, I think you have to answer yes when you ask yourself, were we better off 4 years ago than we are now, than we've been for these 4 years? So you have to give credit where credit is due, and that credit should be based on facts, not just feelings. But that's my question. Are we ready for that? There are people who feel like they need to hide in the closet somehow because Donald Trump is going to be the president. And somehow they think the world is going to blow up, in spite of the fact that it didn't blow up when he was president before, in spite of the fact that there was peace in the Middle East, that the economy was good, that we were energy independent, that the border was obviously more secure. So, I mean, there are people who think that he's going to try to right wrongs. And Trump has already said success will be our vindication, or however he phrased that. Even back then when he was doing the lock her up for Hillary Clinton, when he got in office, that was totally not his focus at all. And that's why I always say Trump is not the monster people want to make him out to be. In fact, I think there are people sometimes who want him to go after his political enemies, and he has not shown himself to be willing to do that, although he doesn't hold back, we know, in what he has to say. I said all that to say this. When Trump gets in office and we begin to see things changing, are we as a people, are Democrats as a party, are they going to oppose what he is doing just because they're not the ones doing it? We saw that with President Biden. He came into office and he began to reverse things to our detriment, even, including the immigration issue. But are we more interested in our nation, in our safety, in our unifying around those things that are good? Nobody should be trying to unify around those things that are not good. But Are we able to recognize the good and get behind it and not just try to tear things down? And this is a question for always for both political parties, right? We've got a House, they have to work together. We've got a Senate, they have to work together. And of course, we have Donald Trump in a very good position as far as that is concerned. But my hope and my prayer are that we don't just resist for resistance sake, that we put the nation above political party, above, well, this is my narrative about Donald Trump. I mean, and even now he's being vindicated because all these things are turning around. It reminds me of when he said there's going to be so much winning, you're going to be tired of winning. But there are all kinds of things that are revealing themselves to be, he wasn't far off. And you've got people like Stephen A. Smith who really, people are like, doesn't he talk about sports? He does a whole lot of talking about politics too. And you've got him coming out and saying, we constantly are finding things where he was right, where Trump was right. You've got people like Charlemagne, not the God, who's also asking questions. So that's my point. Are we willing? Because the government is the people, right? We are the bosses. We elect the people. Are we willing as a people to ask the tough questions, no matter the political party, to get behind that which is right, no matter the political party, to accept when something good is done, even though you thought it was going to be kablooey, as some people are feeling and frightened and all that? Are we able to, as a nation, come together at this point, at this crucial point, recognize good when we see it, stand up against bad when we see it? But in this new administration, there are already people who are like, they have shown themselves to be people who refuse to look past the party. I say, do your homework. And I say, it's going to be interesting. And that's the question I'm posing to you. And you can get into the comment section and tell me, really, are we at a place where we are able to give credit where credit is due? Are we at a place where we're ready to turn the page? Are we at a place where we're not willing to participate in the media lies? Because who lost in 2024 more than anything? The media. The media always have a narrative. And that's why you got many of them now reaching out to Donald Trump and trying to make good with Donald Trump. We might want to take notes on that. So everyone has a narrative. Unless you are willing to be the person that I'm talking about right now, who says, I'm going to look with clear eyes. I'm not going to be a puppet of the media. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to do my own homework. And I'm more than anything, I'm going to be an American first before I am a Democrat, before I am a Republican. And I know there's some people say, well, Adrienne, you are a Republican. Somebody said that in one of my comments on the main channel. Check out the main channel, by the way, the Adrienne Ross Show. And I had to correct them and say everything else they had said was good. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. No, I am actually a conservative, a Christian, and I have a conservative worldview, both socially and fiscally. And here in where I live, you don't have to register in a party. Now you can. You used to not, but now you can. But I choose not to. But definitely conservative. But more than that, I want to be. I don't want to just be. Oh, I'm a conservative, and I want to be open. There are things that I don't budge on, because that's a part of my principles, right? It's not about the party, it's about the principles. So as we have about a month to move forward, again, in the comments, do you feel like we are ready as a nation to look at facts and not just feelings? And let's make it more personal. Are you willing to do that no matter what side of the political aisle you sit on? Are you saying, you know what? It's the principles. It's the nation. It's the worldview that is about right versus wrong, good versus evil, wisdom versus foolishness. Like, where do you stand in that, and where do you see the entire nation. I know what the Bible says, right? Wicked men, it's going to get worse and worse. But I truly feel that God has shown us incredible mercy, given us this opportunity as a nation to right some wrongs, because there were some serious wrongs done in the past 4 years. And I look at this as an opportunity to turn things around. What are you thinking? What are you seeing? And are you willing to be a part of the progress? And I don't mean being a progressive, but are you willing to be part of the progress and not adding to the problem? And what about the rest of the country? Just wanted to pick your brain a little bit. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what I said. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, we are growing already thanks to you. Hit the subscribe button, share and like, and always, if you comment, do so respectfully, of course. And again, don't forget the main channel, The Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. I will put that link in this the notes for this video, but many of you came over from that channel, so you're aware of it. But all right, that's all I got to say. I will catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.